Hey guys, it's Anna with Anna Travels. It's 2021. It's January 1st, 2021, and it's an exciting new year. Well, hopefully it's not exciting in bad ways. Hopefully it's exciting in good ways. So I have today's mug. I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good and mischief managed. So let's see how much mischief we can get into 2021. So this video, I'm just going to go over like some future travel plans. I don't have terribly much, but I just wanted to share with you just some of our plans and also just kind of like a recap of 2020. I admit, so 2020 wasn't as terrible for me personally as it was for many people. I know a lot of people, it sucked, and it did suck for a little bit. Like, I got let go, laid off. Well, it was technically furloughed back in April, and I had an opportunity from a previous boss to work for her, and she was always one of the bosses. I told my husband, like, if she ever, was hiring, I would actually go work for her again. She's an incredible boss, incredible person, and awesome. So she saw my Facebook post and she called me. It's like power of Facebook. And so she's like, you need to work for me. And I said, okay. But technically I was furloughed. So I was thinking, like, part of me, because they weren't able to match my current salary. And so I was like, okay. But I was like, I told my husband there were certain things at my previous job that I was starting to see that I was questioned the strength of the company. And I was right. I was good to trust my instinct, because all the people that were furloughed with me got let go like 2 months later. So I was like, you know what? Trust your gut instinct. Always trust your gut instinct. And then now I've been promoted to manager, and I make much more money than I would make when I was over with the previous company. So that was good. My horse show business, I run horse shows. It sucked during the lockdown, couldn't host any. We did some virtual shows, which were okay. And then we, once the, Virginia was like, we're allowed to have sporting events again, like, people wanted a show. Like, there's so many people that wanted a show. And so my shows actually, like, did kind of good. I mean, they actually did fairly well. I'm not gonna lie. My travel business, that suffered a lot. I know I'm not a prolific travel agent. Like, I don't book like hundreds of trips a year, and it was really heartbreaking seeing some of the travel agents that are full-time. Like, like, I just canceled 20 cabins, on, whatever cruise line. I mean, that's a lot of money. I mean, I mean, if you think, I forgot what the average commission rate for a cruise, but I mean, 20 cabins, and if you just give them 10% commission on each room, like, that's a lot of money to lose in just 5 seconds, hit cancel, and all that income is gone, I always highly recommend using a travel agent. So much that I wish I used a travel agent for my Norway trip, because it was stressful for me, because I was my own travel agent, and so I was like calling and everything. But during the, like, a lot of times, like, the travel agents will call for you and like, reroute your plans and stuff like that. And I did that for my few of my Disney clients and stuff like that. But yeah, so it's been a tough year for a lot of people. And the travel industry especially. So if you have an opportunity to support the travel business, support them. They definitely need help. A lot of agents are suffering. A lot of, like, the travel industry has really been hit hard by 2020. I mean, I was watching, was it the best food review show ever? And they were talking about, like, this one city in Vietnam was just a tourist city, and there's no tourists. And so it's hard for some of these cities. I mean, and the people that work in them and such. So support the travel industry if you can for 2021. We definitely need the support. I'm a part-time travel agent, so, like, the income isn't, like, it doesn't sustain me. It's good. Like, for me, it really gets funneled back into future trips. Like, that's really what, like pretty much what the level that I'm at. Like, the money I make just goes back into the business. And I'm gonna make a website for AnnaTravels.com. I actually bought the domain name. I just been kind of busy and lazy and busy, and I like making websites, but I also hate it at the same time. And a lot of these like websites actually making it easier. I actually learned how to write code when I was in high school, but that's been a while. Like I remember HTML, brackets, blah blah. But yeah, that's all I remember of how to code a website. It's been so long since I've had to code a website. But Wix and like all these other like template sites make it really easy. And some people are like, why are you gonna create a website? I still think it's good, and I was gonna start like maybe blogging, actually writing. I'm a horrible writer. I write how I think, which is like chaotic. But I figure, some people still like reading. Imagine that. I love reading. I haven't got to do it that much because usually I would listen to audiobooks on my commute. I used to have an hour 15 commute, one way. And so I would like burn through books, but now not so much. Because the work I do, I actually have to like concentrate, so I can't listen to a book while working. So I just haven't had much time for reading. But for 2021, I still have, like for my travel agency business, I still have the same goals, like do a little bit more all-inclusives and also to go to Japan and Korea. Now that one is really big asterisk because I think technically Japan is still closed, and Korea you have to do a 2-week quarantine before you're allowed to like step foot inside, well, not step foot, but step foot in the wider world of Korea. So it's like, we can't afford that. Like, we can't afford to do 2 weeks in quarantine, 1 week in Korea, then come back home and do another 2 weeks of quarantine. Now, I will be fine. I could just telework, but my husband can't, he can't telework, period. So it's like, he can't take 5 weeks off for one vacation. And so, yeah, so that's like the big problem with Japan and Korea right now is we had planned to do it at the end of the year, like October to November timeframe. So we'll just have to see what the next few months hold. Our travel agency is doing another trip to well, not another trip, but a trip to Cancun. And so, and it was funny because like we're actually going to Cancun in 10 days. 10 days. Just add both fingers, 10 days. And so, yeah, so I was like, oh, geez. I picked our dates for a specific reason. Like, it was enough time for me to quarantine when I got back. And now that the CDC's, like, orders is that, you just take the test on the 5th day. And then, if you get it, you're good. You think you just have to quarantine for another few more days. But that trip's a little bit more iffy because I have a horse show on the 7th. And plus, it's like, now I am a manager. I can't really like go off and do that many adventures. But I'm still earmarked. It's still earmarked. I still hope to go. So yeah, so those are the few trips. We plan to buy a house in 2021. So we're not really sure like how much we're really going to do because houses cost money, and we can't really, like, we need to show the bank that we're responsible adults. And so, yeah, so we'll see how much traveling we'll be doing in 2021, if much at all. Southwest has some good flight deals to Orlando right now. There's like, for $100 I can go to Orlando round trip. I'm like, oh, I really want to go. I really miss Disney and Universal, but we'll have to see. I could just telework during the day and then like have fun in the evening, or the late afternoon and nights, but it's still a lot of money to just like, only go for a few hours in the evening. But Disney, it could be a cool staycation. Could like work in the bedroom, or heck, like I just plant myself somewhere at Disney and just telework the whole entire day. Anyways, I'm gonna end it right here because I have to edit this, and I have somewhere to be at 10:30. So yeah, so I hopefully you guys have a great 2021. I hope that all my friends that are travel YouTubers can get to have some more fun. I hope my friends that are Disney YouTubers can get to go to Disney. So yeah, so here's to 2021, the first coffee talk. And gosh, I'm hopeful. I'm hoping that 2021 will be a repeat of 2020. So take care, guys.